Hello dear friends, and welcome to Cottage Time. In this week's video, we're looking at more vintage skills that your grandma or your great-grandma would have known how to do. Let's start by looking at bread baking. This is an art that a lot of people, myself included, have relied on the store for their bread for a long time. I know the bread to make right now at home is sourdough, but I do not get along with sourdough that well. I always kill the sourdough starter, but I like fresh made bread, so I'm just going to go with making some yeast bread. The recipe I'm using, I will link it in the description. I'm using a gluten-free recipe off of the King Arthur website. I did tweak this recipe. It calls for a gluten-free flour mix. I don't really care for those. So instead, I'll be substituting cassava, almond, and arrowroot flours in the place of a gluten-free flour mix. I grew up in the South, and the very first bread Mama taught me how to make was cornbread. When I would get home from school, my job was to make the cornbread for supper. For a loaf of bread, though, we always bought it at the store. As time has passed, the ingredients in store-bought bread has, in my opinion, gotten worse. So I feel like if you can make it at home, it's going to be better for you. If you are needing a homemade bread recipe, whether gluten-free or regular bread, my favorite site is the King Arthur Baking website. I'm making chicken salad to go with our homemade bread. I know a lot of the vintage homemaking and old-fashioned skills seem overwhelming, and there's still a lot that I'm learning, but I would just encourage you, if there's something that you are the slightest bit interested in, to take this step to learn those skills. And most likely, you will not regret the effort you put into learning that skill. A vintage skill that I'm working on improving is pressure canning. I looked into electric pressure canners, and I felt most confident in using this Nesco one. I'll link it in the description. I'll also link a video of a review for this canner. It was extremely helpful. This canner gave easy to follow instructions. I think part of the beauty of homemaking is learning new skills, growing as a person, which benefits everyone in the family. Now, I will say I was rather nervous about doing this canning by myself. Sometimes you have to do things kind of scared, and as you do them, the more you do them, the more comfortable you'll feel doing them later. If you're new to canning, the best book you can have is the Ball Canning book. That is where I got the recipe for these beans. I'm going to be canning navy beans. I soaked them overnight in some water and a little apple cider vinegar, and then I went by the recipe in the ball canning book. I hope you're having a beautiful homemaking spring. Thank you for stopping by the cottage. Please say hi in the comments and have fun learning new skills.